Hey guys, Artosis here with the CasterMuse Narak Star League Season 4, and we are at the end. Welcome to the finals. This is going to be a best of 7 between one of the greatest players of all time, the second best Protoss there ever was. It's Stork. And his opponent, an underrated player for sure, finally getting to the finals of a strong tournament. It's Killer. All right, this is exciting. Obviously, like, Stork is just about as hype as you can get. One of the 6 dragons, one of the 4 best players at the end of the StarCraft 1 kind of Kespa era. Stork, just an amazing Protoss player, and he's played fantastically throughout the tournament, honestly. I think you probably had to put him down as the favorite when the tournament started, just based on what he's done in the past. But honestly, I think that in this tournament where he's played a lot of Protoss versus Zerg, he's really shown himself to be very strong in the matchup. He's taken a lot of what Mini has been showing us and shown that he knows exactly how to do it as well. Just some great plays out of Stork that I've very much enjoyed. Whereas Killer over here, like, I mean, I've been talking about how he's underrated for a very, very long time. He's a player that I think can upset just about anybody. He's got that really strong basic set of Zerg skills, but nothing really super stands out with him. Whereas with Stork, you know, you look at him, you're like, okay, strategically, this guy is just on top. I don't feel that way with Killer as much. So I would say that this is still Stork favored, but I'm excited to see if maybe Killer can knock him out. A best of 7, I think we're going to go to a lot of games. But yeah, here we go. The map is Hidden Track. We can see that it is going to be a Forge fast expansion here for Stork, who does end up finding Killer very, very quickly and sees that it is pool first. So he's going to be completely ready for any possible incoming Zerglings. The probe right now actually doing some great job. Oh, look at that. A great job here. Harassing that drone, just kind of trying to slow down the hatchery. The hatchery finally does go down, but Stork did his best there to slow it. Another drone comes out, puts some damage onto that probe. Couplings on the way, at least. Looks like everything else is drones at the moment. Of course, he has scouted that there is a cannon on the way, so of course you don't want to make any extra Zerglings. Your opponent can't really put any pressure or damage on you. So looks like Killer going to go ahead and probably take his 3rd base pretty quickly here. The drone already coming out. Stork's probe still alive, took quite a bit of hull damage there, so he does have to watch out for that, but gonna keep it in here and scouting quite a bit. The 2 lings going across the map, and of course we can see that, well, there's a gate on the way. Oh, he wants to get in, but the probe in the way as that cannon finishes up. It only gets 1 shot off, but I guess he had to try, right? He probably would have gotten 1 in if the probe hadn't been on kind of a hold position command there. So nice block there from Stork. No one has the lead as of yet. Like, I look at the build orders, and overall, of course, I like Killer's slightly more, right? He's only made 2 Zerglings. It was a pool first, though. But this is a Forge fast expansion, right? So, like, you don't have much intel on the map other than the probe. And you really don't have any pressure either. Like, Killer doesn't have to make anything but drones until that first sellout comes out. So yeah, not a whole lot of pressure going on for him. But looking back at home here for Stork, he has his gas mining. We have that cybernetics core on the way. In the meantime, layer at the natural. Of course, you want to make it where Stork doesn't see. Like, eventually he'll go down and check that. But you want to make it as hard for Stork to figure out what's going on as is possible. Oh my god, down to just 2 health here. And the probe does end up falling. So Stork, maybe without very much information here, wouldn't be surprised to just see the Zealot go directly across the map and see what it can find. You know, generally when you go for a Forge fast expansion, you do have to send that first Zealot out to try to do something. And what we see here is he brings it out of vision of that Overlord, and that's going to force some more Zerglings to be made. Like, at least probably 4 more Zerglings Killer has to make sure he can take out the Zealot easily. And then, of course, Stork knows that they've basically been made. He walks it back. The Overlord sees it again and says, oh, I've been duped. So he's forced a few extra Zerglings out. Yeah, you can kind of see, like, there's so many of these very small mind games that go on at this level of professional play. Now, Stargate on the way, as well as that Citadel. We already have +1 coming, which is kind of nice with that Forge Fast expansion, getting that very, very quickly. Couple Zealots in the wall, so definitely not something you're going to try to break as Killer. Continuing to drone up. Zergling's speed is almost done. We have the Spire on the way, so it's probably just for Scourge, but Mutas have gained a lot of popularity lately, so let's not count out that possibility. The Lings kind of just standing in front of this wall right now. They're trying to kind of posture a little bit and show Stork, okay, you should not be coming out of your wall yet. You know, a Killer wants to sit here on as few units as is possible, but obviously, you know, if you walk out with 3-4 Zealots, you have to make more Lings. Six Zerglings will destroy 1 Zealot, but as soon as you hit 2, it's like, yeah, they can't do too much. So the Corsair going across the map for its scout. Let's see what it's going to find. Spire, of course, is going to be finishing up. Over here at the Natural, we have the Hatchery as well as the Hydralisk Den, second gas being taken, Evolution Chamber, and another hatch. So we're going up to 5 Hatchery Hydralisk play at the moment. Of course, we haven't seen yet if he wants to actually make any Mutalisks. But as these buildings finish up, we have Hydralisk Speed, we have ranged attack, and just a few Scourge. So very standard, normal play coming out of Killer here. Stork trying to kill off this Overlord. I guess he'll probably get this one, but you do have to be careful with the Scourge catching your Corsair at that point. Of course, if you start losing Corsairs, Killer always can switch back and go into Mutalisks. Right, there's the 6 Hatchery. That's much more common nowadays. You don't really see too much 5 Hatchery Hydralisk play, but 6 Hatchery, pretty common. Couple Scourge coming up, and these Scourge are looking for this Corsair. Look at that timing. Oh my god, just beautiful. You can see how Killer got to the end of this tournament, just flying at an angle to catch that Corsair where he thought it'd be coming up, and he was 100% correct, getting that very strong kill. Now, how many Corsairs is Stork going to end up making? It's a big question. We don't really know, but he's got to be wary about Mutalisk switches, especially after losing that first one. Okay, Stork coming out. Zealot Legs just now finishing. +1 attack is going to be finishing very shortly as well. Hydralisk Speed is done. He does have a Sunken Colony up. I don't know if Stork actually wants to attack in there. Yeah, it turns around a little bit too much for those Zealots to deal with. So they are going to run back out into the middle of the map, at least for now. I think he just needs to gain a few more. You can see he's also adding quite a few cannons while he gets that Psystorm upgrade done. +1 armor on the way. Multiple High Templars coming out, and we'll keep track of that gateway count, of course. As far as Corsairs go, only 2 Corsairs out. Still going for that +1 air attacks, though, just in case he has to go back into Corsairs for some anti-Mutalisk play. Now, looking at Killer, he's macroing well. He's got great defense all over the place, honestly. Like, very good Sim Cities. A second Creep Colony going up here. He's got this one placed very well. Some Hydralisks around as well to stop Corsairs. Couple Scourge on the side, looking for Corsairs like these to come out. Of course, the Corsairs see them and will turn around. Don't want to be losing any more of those. Overlord Speed, rather, on the way here as well. He wants to make sure that he's not going to be caught off guard by Dark Templars. But hold on, the Zealots actually come in and find a small opening here at the third base. Pick off a couple Hydras, pick off a couple drones, and then do turn around. He loses a couple Zealots, but that's okay, right? You want to interrupt them a little bit. You want to get in there, mix it up, see what they have, see what's hatching out of the eggs. All that very, very good intel, and a little bit of pressure put on to Killer. Now, Killer bringing up his army, his main army, trying to find those Zealots. He thought he'd be able to head them off here like we saw with the Scourge earlier on, but the Zealots running around the long way. It's a very good tactic from Stork to make sure that they make it all the way out. You really do need to make sure you're hitting critical masses on both sides. It's almost like what the matchup is in a lot of ways, is making sure you understand that you need a certain amount of units to actually engage in ZVP and PvZ. Now, here we go. The Zealot's coming out. This 4-Zealot flank should wreck these Hydras. Oh, my God. Stork gets around the Hydras right there. Beautiful little surround. The Hydras microing nicely. They do pick off a Zealot on their way out, and they slither in between the Zealot lines. It looks like he should be able to get home without losing too many more, but you notice Stork with some fancy micro there gets one Zealot in front of a Hydra and does get that extra kill. More Hydras coming up. Can Stork take that? No, he decides he cannot, with the other ones coming up from the main base. A lot of Hydras now going to push these Zealots back. All right, a good retreat. In the meantime, let's take a look at what Stork is doing. He's adding more gateways, okay? So we're going to have 6 here, 2 here. So that's 8 gates. Dragoons with their range upgrade on the way. He already has Storm and some High Templars out, and he has the Robotics now, Observatory coming. So he knows he needs to deal with Lurkers. He knows he needs that range damage of the Dragoons, and he is getting all into it with perfect timing, if you ask me. Now, jumping back here to take a look. Oh, a little Dark Templar. Looks like he was trying to do some harassment, but of course that Overlord speed we were talking about before really helping Killer out to catch that. A little Spore here as well. Some added defense. Nothing really in the main base, so we do have to watch out in case he gets a shuttle later on. Looks like one of the cannons kind of in the way. He's going to have to kill some of his own buildings here to get out. Yeah, it looks like he cancels on the Forge. He's not going to get any more upgrades. Just kill off this Forge so he actually has some circulation. This is actually a very important thing in PvZ. A lot of Protosses lose games because they're a little bit stingy on getting rid of their own wall. You have to be able to get out here quickly and efficiently. All right, he's got a lot of Storms built up here. He's got like 6, 7 Storms, plus all these Dragoons. So the Observer comes up, gets some spotting. Nice. Storm goes down. Look at this. The Hydra's coming up, seeing what they can do. They want to pick off this Observer, but good micro from Stork. Another Storm comes out. The Hydra's being picked off over and over again. Let's see if he gets another strong Storm here. Of course, the Lurkers doing some damage to the Dragoons, but the Dragoons do trade favorably here. You can see he's pumping out so many more at the moment. But as he gets up to a very strong amount, he's starting to re-add in more Zealots as well. Now, here we go. Look at this. The Lurkers unburrowing, running away. Killer knowing he can't hold that contain anymore. He held him in as long as he could, but now he has to fall back onto his heavy macro. Killer's still just on 3 bases, so Stork is okay. It's not like he's on some sort of clock right now, right? Like, his army is scaling fine at the moment. This is just layer tech. It's just the 6 hatch on 3 bases. So Stork really not behind, I would say. Like, not that Killer's in bad shape, but oh my god, I actually hadn't noticed this. We have a big drop coming. Look at this. 3 Lurkers and a bunch of Hydras. 10 Hydras in there. Oh, the Corsair gonna fly up and find these Overlords coming in towards the main base. Will Stork be able to get up into his main? He realizes now what is going on. Does he think it's a trick? No. Okay, here we go. He is sending some units up now. The Corsair is going to be picked off by these Hydras if they're sent in. Yeah, they are. But he's going to be able to clear this pretty well. The couple Observers come up. He is careful with the micro there. Keeps them out of distance from being sniped. Ooh, the Hydras do snipe one of them. Look at this. Killer trying so hard to make this an efficient drop. But honestly, at the end of the day, this looks a little bit better for Stork. It slows him down, though, which is an important tactic to be seeing here out of Killer. Oh, just barely make it out. In the meantime, look at this. The 3rd base that was warping in gets canceled by these Hydras with their +2 attack coming in. We have a lot more Hydras, a lot more Lurkers being produced down here by Killer, but Stork going to come back out. Looks like another Overlord coming in. There is a single Photon Cannon here to stop this Overlord from just destroying Stork. Gonna bring a couple more units up here as well. Maybe get the pick off. All right, does pick off that Lurker. Very, very important. You have to be careful about Lurker drops. A couple volleys can kill your entire probe line just about. Now, Stork coming out onto the map. He has a pretty big advantage. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I actually missed during that time. Sorry. It looks like the shuttle came down with the DTs. Killed off some drones as well as the Spire. That's a huge move. And in the meantime, a counter drop here from Killer. Stork moving out into the center of the map. I don't even know where to look after right now. These Hydras hitting the front, picking off some High Templars. They're going to retreat for now. Some great Storms in the main base as Stork cleans up that drop and moves forward towards Killer. Killer very far down in supply, but his drone count's low, which means his army count is actually rather high comparatively. Is he going to be able to hold on against Stork's army, though? Looks like he's trying to run out right now with some of these Hydras. Some pylons being put up here just to kind of spot any incoming drops. Another group of Hydras with a Lurker coming up the other side. Look at this. Lurker's just kind of trying to run past. It looks like Killer wants to do counterattacks. I think that really shows the type of position that he feels he's in right now. It's a tough spot for him to be able to, you know, just defend a giant macro attack from Stork. So he's trying the drops. He's trying to get in here and do little counterattacks. But honestly, none of it really working right now. He tried to throw down another base. A group of Zealots went down, cleared that out as well. Look at this. Storm's going down absolutely everywhere. Stork's multitasking just seems to be a step above where Killer's is at right now. He's retaking his third base, has a group of Zealots over here to stop the Hydra attacks. A huge flank of Hydras coming in right now. The Zealots see these coming, and he's going to attack into them. But yeah, he should be pulling those back right now. You'll be able to see that Lurkers are morphing. He's going to have to bring a big army over if he does want to hold on against this. In the meantime, a small Lurker containment outside the double bridges. So Killer's starting to put pressure on everywhere, but don't forget, still, he's on 3 bases. Still, he doesn't have Hive Tech, so he's really needing this to do something. All right, here we go. The Zealots coming out kind of single file. The Hydra's absolutely demolishing, but that Psy Storm so strong upon the Hydras. Does he have another? Yeah, he has another right here. If they do try to come in through that little crack, they do come in. A couple more storms going down. These Hydras getting very, very low, and those should get cleaned up relatively quickly. They don't quite get the pick on this High Templar, and the rest of that army of Killer going to have to back up. Now, Stork looks like he's finally going to be securing this third base right around 16 minutes. Obviously, he can send a lot of probes down as well. He's got 50, and he's mining out of his main and of his natural. Look, just in the nick of time, he gets that. There's basically nothing left elsewhere, so we're going to have to get this to full saturation. He has to be careful with drops. If you drop a couple Lurkers in here, that could end up ending the game for Stork. All right, let's take a look at what we've got going on for Killer. He's sending up lots of Hydras. There's lots of Lurkers burrowed all over the place. Just continuing that macro. I mean, you can see on the production tab, it's basically just Hydras and Lurkers being made. Starts to push in. Yeah, that's not going to work out well. I guess if you pick off the observers, you can't really kill the Lurkers, so that's kind of a nice moment. But it looks like Killer is going to try to just shove it over the bridge right now. Of course, that is kind of a double choke point for these Dragoons, but the Lurkers getting their extra damage without any Psy Storms upon them or any observers there to help pick them off. The rest of the army starting to move forward. But Stork, yeah, he's got the Psy Storms. He's got the Dragoons. Where is our Observer? There is another one about to pop out. He pulls back his Dragoons for now. Lurker's going to pull back out of this forward position. Oh, I heard a pickup. Okay, so we have 2 Lurkers in this Overlord. Like I mentioned before, just a few Lurker Spines can ruin this game for Stork still, even though it still looks like he has the advantage here. He's starting to push forward over this bridge. This is a suspiciously small containment force. So Stork should know something else is going on right now. It looks like we have, no, just a couple speed overlords there. The rest of the Hydralisk army starting to come up. A Psy Storm goes down on them. And the double Lurker burrow. Let's take a look at how many probes you're actually going to end up getting. Ooh, looks like he gets about 15. So it is quite a few probes, but Stork is okay. Yeah, he did lose 15 there. 35 probes remaining, which is actually enough for how many mineral patches he has, right? Keep 3 on each gas, put the rest over here. You're going to be fine. Still has that kind of the same economy he had before. He was a little bit oversaturated. Now, Stork moving down the map. Still, Killer unable to hold on to any more bases. He has a rather large army. He's still got a decent bank, so he can make this army a little bit bigger as well. Spire on the way. And I find that particularly interesting, right? There's like Archons out here. There's Dragoons. There's Psy Storms. Does he feel like a Mutalisk switch here is the best move? I think he actually does. If he can pick off 3-4 High Templars, his Hydras may be able to take out this army. This is basically what you see is what you get for Stork right now. Like, he is refilling as quickly as he can, but you can see on his production tab, it's not that much coming in. Mostly working on upgrades right now. Yeah, see, he's got like 8 gates, but he's producing, you know, sometimes 1 unit, sometimes 7 units. He's macroing what he can off of his 1 base economy, but you know, the game has slowed down a little bit since these guys have been brawling for almost 20 minutes on so few bases. All right, a little group split off to chase these Hydras down. Stork looks like he's getting ready for another base. Coming up with the rest of his units here for... Oh, it looks like he wants to actually catch these Hydras as they come up. The Hydras realize what's going on. They turn around, they target down an Archon, and then go after a Dragoon. So I think that's actually pretty reasonable. The Archon's going to be the hardest thing to deal with the Mutalisks. And then, of course, the Dragoons. So, reasonable, considering he was going to lose those. Now, let's take a look at how many Mutas we're actually getting here. So, right now, it looks like we have about 14 Mutalisks. Another Archon, a lot more Dragoons on the way. They do have 2 upgrades, so that's pretty awesome as far as Stork's upgrades go. Only that +2 ranged attack right now for Killer. Of course, nothing on the Mutalisks as he lost that Spire a lot earlier on. And now I think it comes down heavily to the Mutalisk micro. What can he get done? Here we go. 11 mutas. They're clumped up. So if a storm hits, he's going to be in trouble. Oh my god, the double storm there deals a lot of damage. He's killing multiple High Templars at the moment. And another storm goes down. The Hydras all come up still. 2 High Templars here with almost 4 storms between them. The Hydra's going to get absolutely wrecked if they get these storms up. There's one. Another one going to be coming out here. Yeah, there's another. He has 2 more now. Another storm. And I think that this is not going so well for Killer. He is losing a ton of units, and that's it. GG. Stork wins game 1.